You are, let's say you're speaking to a group of 18 to 22-year-old women who are interested in starting their careers. What is the advice you're going to give to them?
Gosh. So I've been helping build out our recruitment process for the last 2 years at Wells. Obviously, selfishly for commodities in Houston, which it's hard to recruit for A, commodities, B, in Houston, which is interesting for coming from a bank perspective, just because everybody's used to seeing New York. Obviously, we have a presence in San Francisco and Charlotte. So there's other locations that are kind of more top of list / top of mind for people coming out of college. So it's been really interesting having those conversations and seeing what drives people in college now towards those decisions. But I think in general, the advice that I have been giving to people is just more so to women, just because I would love to see more women in our field. I think that the last few years that has changed, which is great to see, specific to commodities, but I'd love to see more women in banking, period. And I think that in reality, you just need to put yourself in a lot of difficult situations. You just need to challenge yourself. You need to keep asking questions. I think that, guys versus girls, I think that guys have absolutely zero qualms about making themselves look silly and putting themselves in situations where they have loads of confidence. And women sometimes don't have that. They're not built that way. And I think, being able to display that and coming to the same stage as men would definitely be a lot more.
Would you say it's an intimidation factor that women tend to be a little more intimidated in roles where they're surrounded by other men in a group? And is that something that you had to overcome?
I mean, I was always surrounded by men at work. Yeah, like 90 to 95% of the people I worked with were men. But I was very lucky because I had a lot of good mentors around along the way, and everybody I worked with was amazing. And they would always be there for me if I needed something. So I didn't feel that I actually saw it as an advantage in the sense that they would be there giving advice along the way. I think that, I don't know if it's an intimidation factor. I think it's just, you need to have those discussions much earlier on in age, because I don't think, obviously as a kid, you don't know what path you want to take, right? You have zero idea. I wanted to be in the CIA. But I think previously there were just roles that were, catered to one versus the other. And there was just some narrative along the way that just got fumbled. And I just think that they need to be looking at opportunities equally.